welcome to the show. This is the trip, even though it did say the road trip on the intro, but well, it is that kind of day. Not feeling. I don't know. I'm smiling because I get to do the show. I'm not happy about what's going on, but I'm. So, but anyways, got a full house tonight. You got Mr. Tom. Mr. Tom, how are you doing?
Hey yo.
All right. Okay, I didn't. You know what? I didn't see you move your lips, so your internet is froze for a little bit there. Say something.
Hey yo.
Okay, sounds a little bit off, like your voice and the audio not syncing right now. But we'll get into it. Tony, how are you doing?
Denver Broncos.
How are you doing, Tony?
I'm okay. I'm only 1/8 mummy, as you can see. But...
1/8 mummy.
Yep.
All right.
I thought he was baking. He had a baking glove on.
Oh.
Does it look like a bacon there?
It did. It did when you had it just showing like a wanking claw. Oh, and it also looks like a wanking claw.
My wanking claw?
No, put that thing down, please. Please put it down. And last but not least, Lonzo, how you doing, my man?
Hey, Gary. Hey, Tom. Hey, Tony.
Cool. Got BX in the house from the boogie down. BX, welcome. Miss Melina is here. Hello, Miss Melina. I think you got to go to a game. Did you get to go to the Fulham or the West Ham game? I don't know.
Did you have a good Christmas? We've asked that of everyone.
Oh. Yeah. Did you guys have a good Christmas?
No. I was asking Miss Melina because we were. I've spoke to these guys. I spoke to these guys literally on Christmas. Both of them.
Miss Melina, tell us how your Christmas went. BX, I don't know how your Christmas went. You might have told us, but I don't remember. Yeah, Tom.
The problem is, Gary, that BX probably doesn't remember.
Maybe he does. Tom did get a win. Tom is the only one on this screen once again that's got a win. We've had too many of those weekends where he's getting wins and everybody else is not. So, and you would think he'd be happy about it, but he's not happy about it for some reason.
No, I'll tell you something, because the rest of the Christmas was not ideal. Because of the form of the other teams, let's say for argument's sake, Ipswich Town. Basically, we've shot ourselves in the foot because their drop in form should have been something that we took advantage of, and we didn't. And again, SRV, CRV, VVV, and all that, right? I don't know what I'm talking about there. Both teams that beat us over the Christmas period haven't won since. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine my shock with everyone puts their eggs in the beating Leeds trophy basket? Can you imagine that? No legs on since.
Yeah, but you're coming to a fandom that's going through that as well. Everybody seems to play up for Arsenal, so yeah. So we know exactly how you feel.
No one hates Arsenal. Everyone hates us.
Everybody hates Arsenal. They are laughing.
No.
So if you're saying that we bring joy to people, that's not the same. But we are bringing joy to people. They're enjoying this. They're enjoying our
Quiet,
form
Mr.
right
Greenwood.
now.
Quiet, Mr. Greenwood, please.
So before that,
man.
you got Tom asked Tom, should he go to the EW?
Absolutely should. No, you should. You absolutely should. Despite the fact that I roast them occasionally, and Sam Greenwood hates AEW. You should see the things he says about AEW on Twitter. You would never believe the things he said. That Bryan Danielson, I think he's the worst. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, you should go.
Yeah. All right.
So do I, Tom.
Yeah, you know what, Tony? He don't care. I'm sorry.
I did get him to turn around on Becky Lynch. So that's a success.
All right. Sam, welcome to the show.
I didn't hear a word
hello.
of that, Tony.
Yeah,
I heard turn around and then...
Turn around? Is that the song? Is it?
Yeah.
Turn around.
Turn around.
Sam, welcome.
I said I turned your I said I turned you around on Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
Is what I
And
said.
Kind of did. Yeah, that's true. But yeah. So to answer your question, BX, you absolutely should, because live wrestling is a lot more enjoyable than it is on TV. In fairness, to it. You should. If you can, you should. Even if Bryan Danielson's there. Anyway. We did get Rooney fired. I would argue his tactics and his performances got him fired, but it was nice, Gary, to be fair. When the crowd chant, "You're getting sacked in the morning," it usually doesn't happen. So we did get the rare, "You're getting sacked in the morning," and by my count, he was sacked by midday. So we ended up right.
very cool. Look at that. So it should have been. It was a good weekend. Oh, Tom, boo-hoo. Mm-hmm. All right. And I don't know what this is, but
It's a movie.
oh. You know, I was watching something and John Cena was in it. What was it?
Oh, he's in everything. He's in the Suicide
Oh,
Squad.
you know what? My kids were watching Barbie.
Oh, he was in Barbie.
He's in it for about 4 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, but more than 4 seconds, probably about 8. But you know.
Yeah. I know he's only in the one bit because it was literally because he walked into. I think he walked into a McDonald's and Margot Robbie was there, and obviously he went, "Oh,
He was in more scenes than you think then, because the scene I saw was
scene. It's in one
I
scene.
saw what I saw him in. He wasn't in McDonald's, so I my kid's like, oh, that's John Cena the rest of us. So you might have missed it. Maybe
No, that's how he ended up in it, because he was in McDonald's and she walked in.
Oh, because he was in McDonald's. I thought you said in the movie.
Yes.
I said in the movie.
No, I'm saying in real life, he was in a McDonald's. She walked in. She was also in that McDonald's. They know each other from the Suicide Squad. So then she said she was filming Barbie, and he went, "Oh, cool. Are there any parts in it?" And then she basically got him the bit where he pops up, says hello, and then disappears.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right, that's cool. Have friends in the business, right?
Yeah,
all right.
It's a good gig if you can get it.
True.
Hey,
So
hey,
you know what? Let's start the show, at least with some happiness. So, Mr. Tom, talk to me about.
Do you know what would make me happy, Gary?
If
Alonso could ask me his question.
Maybe I don't. Maybe that won't make me happy. And is it my happiness?
I have no idea what the question's going to be, Gary. But
it's not the question. It's whether I would be. Isn't it all about me though?
It should be. I mean, it is, but.
Tom.
Please. Yes, sir.
Tom, I have a question.
See, this is nonsense right here.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Is that a new Leeds top you have on?
Oh my God, I'm so glad you asked, Alonso. Totally unprompted and literally unprompted. That's me acting like I told him. I didn't. It's the Leeds United home shirt, and it looks very championshipy, in my opinion. As soon as I got it out of the packet, I was like, wow, the quality. This isn't Premier League quality in the material. It's true. I got the third kit as well, the fruit salad one.
Okay.
The yummy.
He's so upset.
Kit.
Gary's just mad that your voice is moving. Then your mouth isn't moving and words are coming out of it.
No, I'm mad that he's moving his lips and noise is coming out. That's what I'm mad.
Yeah, but they're big.
Let's get it right.
There are big periods where there's words coming out and his mouth's closed. Tom has a big curl.
All right. Anyways, apparently. Mr. Tom, talk to me. Tell me about how it feels to win a football match and not
let me tell you.
Let the other team score.
Let me tell you something, brother.
Are you going to tell us, or are you just going to sit there?
No. As soon as I said that, as I said that, I thought, oh, wait a minute. Is that being unintentionally racial? Because that's what Hogan would say. But then I called you brother, and obviously you're a bit of a brother. So I was like, wait a minute. What? Wait, yeah. I was like, wait, should I not? Anyway, and start again. Gary, start again, please. Start again. Go.
You're just, you know what? You are just nonsense. That's it. You are nonsense. I don't even know. That's not even making any sense.
again,
But
please.
that's what you are. Let's try this again.
Please.
So, Mr. Tom, talk to me about how it feels to get a win and actually stop the other team from scoring.
Let me tell you something, brother. I was sitting there when I was watching Leeds United, and then it made me feel like I was at the top of the mountain, like I was some kind of real American hero, brother. And let me tell you this, brother. I was sat there like Patrick Bamford scored, brother, and that's enough to get you sacked. But what's definitely going to get you sacked is if Junior Firpo gets 2 assists on you, brother.
Damn, that is if that doesn't get anybody sacked, you're not doing you're doing a good job, all right? And obviously Rooney is not doing a good job.
That game went so badly for them that I've actually seen articles suggesting that Rooney takes a break from managing. So he's not actually been just sacked. The media are actually telling him to stop managing because he managed a team that conceded to Bamford and Firpo.
Well, Henry took a break from managing as well, right? I mean, he wasn't doing so well either. So, something about being an all-star top player in football and not being able to coach it.
Yeah,
Interesting.
they do say those who can't play teach, but then those people that can play probably then shouldn't go on to teach.
True.
I could be wrong.
All right, we've been 12 minutes in here. We've talked for Leeds for about 30 seconds. I think we're done with Leeds talk, right?
I can squeeze some back in at points when you will want it.
I kid. I did see some of the. I did see for, like you said, Bamford scoring first. That was amazing. That's like the comment. It goes around every like 76 years. When you see it, you better remember it because you may not see it again. But Firpo's just doing Firpo things, so
To be fair, it is right. Like in January, February, that's when Firpo decides like he'd actually like to earn his paycheck. Like last February, when he was the greatest player on the earth and should have had the Ballon de February.
Ballon de February. All right, cool.
Yeah, real thing.
Cool.
It's a real thing.
So Sam and BX Gunner are having a getting off contest.
8.5 seconds between them.
Yeah, Sam's at 4. BX is at 4.5. Damn. Yeah, something. I don't know if you could ever. Yeah. Some places shouldn't manage. There you go. Tom, there we go. See, I'm not even going to say it because I think that's kind of rude to Rooney.
That's wildly inaccurate. I believe the definition he's actually looking for is fat. Tom the Fat Rooney lookalike has spoken.
You've got Stan in the house. Stan, welcome to the show.
Hello.
All the way from the Vancouver. Yeah, BX says if you didn't know, nobody knew that.
That's not what he said. He actually says, if you didn't know.
Oh, is that how it goes?
Call somebody.
I just want to know why. I just want to know why Tom bought 2 new kits when the new kits will be coming out in like 6 months.
Is this his choice, Tony?
Because I didn't buy them.
It's called Christmas and birthday.
We had a holiday and a birthday. So
Tony, if you have problems, you should go talk to the people that bought him gifts for his birthday or Christmas.
Stop stealing my cereal, dog.
Stop stealing your
shirt.
I have my cereal up on the table and the dog keeps taking cereal.
Maybe you should feed the dog. Remember? Now you talk about me starving my dog. You're starving your dog. They so bad they want to eat the cereal off of you. Just feed your dog. All right, feed your dog.
Yeah, I love Gary.
I can tell you what will come out about. As Stan says, what you will find eventually will come out about Gerrard, Lampard, and Rooney. It's the same thing that came out about Glenn Hoddle when he was a football manager, because he was an amazing football player in his time. Along the same sort of like, Glenn Hoddle was considered a Messi-ish figure, not on his level, but like the English equivalent, say like slightly less than Gaza, let's just say. But anyway, what you're gonna find out is it will come out that they will have got very frustrated in training because the players can't do what they can do.
Yep.
And they because that's what came out about Glenn Hoddle. He would set up things in training, and then he would get annoyed at his players because they couldn't do these things like he did them, because he was an amazing football player. And turns out that Glenn Hoddle managed teams that had players in them that weren't as good at football as he was.
True. You know, I think like if you think who could be a really good manager, those players like you said that overachieve their physical like constraints because they have to think outside the box as opposed to a player who's just really gifted, right? They say gifted all the time, but you can't replicate that. You can't replicate that. Yeah.
To them, other people should be able to do what they can do, Gary.
Yeah.
But it's not true.
Very.
Evidently, it's not true.
And Sam. Oh, Tony. What's your name again, Mr. Tom? You gotta say this.
It was what Alonso said.
Oh, did he say it? You say it then, Alonso, because I missed it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I said call somebody.
There you go. Tom's hypothesis dead in the water as usual. So he thinks you know what you're doing. You're talking about.
I said Tony, not Tom.
Oh, I thought it was Tom because usually your hypothesis is just nonsense.
No, mine are usually right somewhere down the line.
So Tony, there you go. You know nothing.
I think Sam's got me and Tom confused somehow.
Yeah, we got Tony in the house. Welcome. The Silver One El Jefe has joined us. Welcome to the show. Yeah, the great player, great managers. Yeah, Larry Bird was was probably one of the best player managers, Hall of Fame management. He took his team, I don't think he took him to the championship, but
it was
finals.
I believe the conference finals were also Lakers in 2000.
Yeah, no. So like Larry Bird was probably probably the best player who was a Hall of Famer and also could coach.
But he ended up not being that good at coaching. He was good at the management part, and that's why he went to being an executive. But I don't think he's that good at actual.
His team did really well, right?
He just ran into the
When
Lakers.
he was coaching them, right? When he was coaching the Pacers, didn't they do really well? He was the coach on the sidelines. Remember that?
Yeah, but that was just 1 year, Gary.
They did really well, right?
And he went into being an executive.
He was the coach, but he was the coach when they did really well, right?
He put the team together, Gary.
So, but he coached them too, right? No? You're not going to answer the question? Alrighty. Last but not least.
For like a 2 or 3 year coaching career, it turned into.
He did really good, though, right?
It was 2 to 3 years.
There's a lot of other managers that Rooney's been coaching for how many years? 2 or 3 years? How's he done?
Crap.
Okay. Last but not least, joining the show, we've got from the floor because he's not allowed on the couch. Spencer. It must be cold because he's got his Avalanche hat on.
Yeah, it's a little chilly here in Virginia.
Bad dogs, don't get on the couch. Bad dogs, bad dogs.
Spray.
Tony. All
right, let's go through real quick before you
Gary got
before you talk about Broncos. Let's say hello to the people. Moss has joined us. Welcome to the show. Javi Alonso's doing pretty well. Yeah. Tony Adams is the touch of death as a manager. There you go.
Oh,
he knows.
Oh my God! Have you seen that video of him doing the dancing, doing the training? This is a real thing. This is a very real thing. It went viral when he was at Granada, and basically he was doing a dance in training. Or no, he was doing something in training, but he was basically moving his arms like this. And someone on the internet put Michael Jackson beat it to it. Killed his career. It finished him. It was like Mortal Kombat. It
But
finished.
now if you,
his
but now
recruitment.
okay, all right. But if you do ballroom dancing now, your career can get rejuvenated. So that's not
If enough Arsenal fans watched Strictly Come Dancing on Saturday night, yeah.
There you go. There you go. So there you go. Zidane, Cruyff, and Keegan, they did well. So there you go. Xavi, Leverkusen. Is that how do you say that?
Cooking.
Zabi, Leverkusen are cooking.
Oh, cooking. Is that? I didn't know you spelled cooking with a K.
No, it's
Okay.
not.
You don't.
It's not. It's absolutely not. But I'm
Okay.
guessing that's what he means.
Okay. No, I thought it was a cookie. You know, I don't know.
No, hang on. Say it again.
No,
Say
I'm
it
not
again.
saying it anyway.
What did you think it said?
Not, I don't know what it said. That's why I asked you to say it. Give KT a trophy. There you go. Oh man. Yeah. All right.
To
Tony
be
doesn't
fair,
answer when he
Cruyff
knows
and
he's wrong.
Zidane
There
were
you go.
managing Real Madrid and Barcelona.
Hey, you know what? It's not easy to do it. If it was,
It's-
everybody would do it.
It's what everyone would manage Barcelona.
No, and do
They've
well.
got enough money problems without employing everyone on earth, Gary.
Taib has joined us. Welcome to the show. All right. So we've just been
So what's that
talking
about
about.
Tony doesn't answer when he knows he's wrong? Is that true,
Yeah.
Tony?
Uh,
Can you confirm or deny Sam's assertion that you don't answer when you know you're wrong?
like I said, he coached for 3 years. How can you say
Very
he
good
was?
team,
He's a
Tony.
good executive.
They did well when he coached, though, right?
I don't know
can
if Tony's
look
wrong
it
or
up and
not.
tell you.
I'm just more certain what Sam is saying.
When he
about
was
Tony's
coaching them, they did really well. I remember seeing them on the sidelines coaching, and they did really well.
Yeah, he even coached the All-Star game too.
So
Doing to
Kelly-
the best record, the
Yeah.
Eastern Conference.
I didn't know Larry Bird was though.
First year, 58 games. That's playoff level. Second year, 33. That's not very good. 33 out of 82 is not good. Then he had 56 again, so that's playoff level. So he was an okay coach, Gary.
So he did good as a
Okay.
coach.
Okay.
What
Okay.
NBA Hall of Fame player has done better in recent time?
I still mainly know him from
What?
Larry Bird vs Jordan on the Game Boy.
Yeah, yeah.
Wasn't it that coach from the Supersonics, Lenny Wilkins? Also pretty good.
Yeah, I think he was all right, but he wasn't a Hall of Fame player. I don't believe.
Yeah, I think he was, Gary.
he?
Um,
I know he was a coach, but I didn't know he was a player.
yeah, I think he's a Hall of Fame player as well.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second.
All right,
Okay.
cool.
So we've
All right,
established that in Italy it does work.
So yeah,
But
but
in
everywhere else in the
England,
world,
it
not
doesn't.
so much. Fun fact, people. By the year 2032, everyone would have had a stint working at Manchester United. All right, so let's get into it because we just talked about Mr. Tom's team, and he had a good weekend. Mr. Tom's got 2 shirts, so he had a good birthday and Christmas. And let's get into it. Arsenal.
A good birthmas. Good
Arsenal.
birthmas.
What are you talking about?
A
He was,
birthmas.
yeah, he was a Hall of Fame player
Oh, he was. All right, cool.
and coach.
Time out of birthmas.
I said in recent time. Lenny Wilkins is a long time ago.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but you're right. You're right. So here we go. Arsenal. Is it? They traveled to Craven Cottage. Is that right? Do I have that right?
Yeah.
Wow, I got
That
the
is
stadium.
correct.
I got the stadium correct. I didn't even have to look it up. I'm starting to remember these things. To play Fulham, who they nearly. I think they nearly got a point, if I recall, but they should have got 3 when they played at home. And this is the return to favor game. Arsenal comes out, bang, within 5 minutes scores the first goal, and you think, all right, we're learning. We're going to finish them off, right? No. We didn't finish them off. They finished us off, and Arsenal looked really poor. We went from a toothless offense in my eyes, you're just plain toothless for like 90. It's 90 minutes if you want to call it the extra time, or 95 minutes. So, really bad game from Arsenal in my eyes. I think Arsenal was on the holidays as soon as we got to the holidays part of the season, and they were ready to get out, and they looked like it. Arteta had no answers to start, no answers.
We're pretty good at
I'll
doing that,
just
like Christmas. We take our holiday early
That's kind of weird
on the
because
pitch.
like Arteta supposedly career was saved on Boxing Day by the youngsters. So that's not true. We talk about ESR all the time. When did he play? It was Chris Boxing Day, right? Or the 30th. I can't remember what it was, but
it was before. It was in
during the
December.
holiday season, right? It was in the holiday season, right?
No,
Because I recall
earlier.
going into that going, oh, Boxing Day, it's going to be over. But yeah, so anyways, Arsenal looked really poor. It was a really hard watch along the talk about. I pretty much lost my will to chat about the game. Tony, tell me about the game.
Came out, got the early goal, and I guess we went to sleep, stopped carrying, whatever you want to say, and just let them win. Let them do what they wanted to.
Very true. Very true.
3 points lost because we didn't care.
Yeah, they looked like they had lost it. Yep. Lonzo, talk to me about the game.
I was at work, but I watched it again today, right before I came on, and I mean, here's what I think happens, Gary, whenever you add, two new players to midfield, and there's I know it's still late in the season, and I still think that they're still trying to figure it out. We got the early goal. Saka scored on off the rebounds from Martinelli, and it just seems like Arsenal are just too relaxed, and they really didn't bother completing a whole game. They didn't even threaten, I guess, the rest of the game. I mean, yeah, shots were going in the box, and shots were being missed and off target and all that, but it seemed like they were comfortable with just 1-0 at that time. Playing not aggressive, playing laid back, not conservative, or very conservative, and it just seemed like they let Fulham back in the game. And once that happened, it was like, it was hard to get back into it. It's just it's weird to talk about the time because you don't know if a ball was going to go in or it always seemed it was getting defended pretty well by Fulham, and it seemed like they had a game plan. And as an Arsenal fan, a supporter, you get kind of discouraged because of all the talent that they have on the pitch, they can't even create. They're too worried about offsides. They're too worried about fouls. They're always sticking their hand up to the referee and just stop playing. Whereas Fulham and West Ham, they continue to play no matter what happens. And to me, it seemed like the team on Arsenal, they just give up too easily, and they don't. They just lose their focus. Their passing's horrible. It's like they're not. It's not crisp enough, and it's kind of really sad because we all had high hopes for them this year. I mean, it's not like the season's lost by no means because still the points are not pulling away, but it is discouraging because West Ham and Fulham are weaker sides, so we need to they need to take advantage of that, and they just didn't do it. It seems like they're not focused enough right now, Gary. It's very discouraging as a fan because they can't create.
Very, very true. I don't think you do much. Well, as you said, we scored early and basically took our foot off the gas, which happens a lot this time we took it off for pretty much the rest of the game. Spencer, talk to me. Tell me about this game. And Sam has he says you should be. He said underneath that hat of yours is probably some blonde hair and a white tee.
If he says so, it's brown, man. I got money to bleach my hair like that. What's he talking about? You don't want that smoke. Anyway, no, I don't know how to rap. So, I mean, I'll sum it up with like one thing, one moment in the game. So, Saka had a wide open chance, 1-on-1 with the keeper with a volley, and he shanked it. Not clinical enough, man. Like that's it. I hate the tactic of the inverted left back because it leaves the left winger vulnerable because there's no one behind him in case he loses the ball. So again, my question is why do we have an inverted left back and have a striker playing as a false nine? Do we need that much in the middle of the park? Why can't someone set up in the middle of the box? But needless to say, to me it's the tactics at this point. The players aren't clinical enough. It showed on Sunday. Fulham deserved all 3 points, and they need a break, man. I'll tell you what. I heard Tom Rennie, and I know Tom Rennie was Grumpy Pundits on Sirius XMFC this morning. They said the difference between Arsenal and Liverpool is when someone gets pulled off, or substituted off at Liverpool, Klopp puts his arms around him and tells him why he subbed him. At Arsenal, they just pull them off. They don't tell them why they got subbed. They don't give them that buy-in of, hey, this is what we're doing tactically different this time. I mean, obviously, if you get pulled off as a left back for another striker, hey, we're going for it. But, I mean, look at Smith Rowe. There's a meme going around on social media where Smith Rowe tried to give Martinelli a high five and Martinelli ghosted him. So I wonder what unity's going on in the locker room. It's not an Arteta problem, but it's what are these players? Where are they at mentally? And, there's also a world where we overshot our load last year, and we should have never really challenged for the title. And this is who this team is, a third-place team that's still on the up and growing. So, I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like teams have figured out this tactic, and we don't have another answer for it. And that's where it comes in Arteta to develop some different tactics and try a different way to skin the cat.
That's the problem. You said that we have this tactic.
Yeah.
He doesn't change. They keep with one thing.
Yeah, I'm not one of these ones that's going to say, oh, it's time to get rid of Arteta. I don't believe it's just too early for that, and it's just too slight. I think we saw someone said something in here about. I saw a comment earlier today where Liverpool has had these drops, in form, and the guys just aren't finishing. Right, Martinelli's been non-existent this year. Doesn't seem confident. Holds onto the ball too long. Jesus is more of a right winger than he is a striker. I do like what he does outside the box. But the best comment, I think it was, I don't want to not give the person credit, so this isn't an original thought, but it said Arsenal have too many outside the box players, but not enough inside the box players. So what the answer is to that, I don't know at this time, but they just need to start putting their chances away. I mean,
when you say out of the box, what do you mean?
Guys that can do stuff in the middle of the park, guys that can do hold-up play, guys that can make passes. We don't have anybody inside the box, inside that 18-yard box that can finish. Saka normally can, but, I mean, think about that chance on Sunday. He should have let that ball drop in front of him and then take the shot.
Yeah, this season we haven't been clinical pretty much the entire season. So none of that, what we saw in the West Ham match for me was nothing new. We just saw it in abundance. Basically, we were talking about clinical finishing all season. Every game that we've played, where we haven't been able to pull away from many teams this season because we're not being clinical. Then they always said we needed more creation of shots, so we did that as much as we could, and it didn't matter. So I think it's not even we just need to be clinical, and there are some chances which are I think we wait too long. I say we wait too long, but yeah.
Gary
I'll be honest,
someone to shoot before the ball's to their feet.
Pardon me?
I said you're telling them to shoot before the ball even gets to them.
I'm telling them to be
Yeah.
prepared to shoot before the ball gets to their feet. That's typically
That's
how
what I was about
football
to
is.
say.
When you take a one, when it's a one, the first touch should be a shot. That means your foot placement is correct, and that's what
Saka
they
did what you told him to do.
He was poor at it, and we've seen him do better. We've seen him volley those shots before. So, yeah, you know what? But I'll take that than like what we do most of the time, which is to take the extra touch, and then allow the defense to get in front of us, and then we don't even get. Then it's blocked. You know. I mean, he had enough time to bring the ball down, right? So, you know, if he didn't think he could get to it, he could have brought the ball down. But in general, yeah, one-touch football is what I want. So,
I think Saka watches this show
why?
because he must have took on board what you said over the last sort of month or so about you want more quicker play, getting the shots off quicker. So he did. And now he's going to be sitting there and watching it now going, Gary, I did what you told me to do. As soon as the ball landed at my feet, I hit it. And now you're still unhappy that I didn't take a second. Can't win. You can't win. You're bullying
Clinical.
the poor lad.
And what did I start off
bullying
this
him.
whole? I started this whole conversation with clinical finishing.
Don't care. No, don't care.
So,
Don't care about your facts. Do not care.
I
Don't care.
started this whole
I've
thing with
already
clinical
forgot what you said.
finishing.
I've already forgot what
I don't
you
know.
said.
I know you quit. Yeah. Just when it appeases you, you just let it slide. Yes.
100% whatever suits me in the moment.
There you go.
You
So,
heard-
no, I just like I said, that's a shot he should be able to score. Yeah, but has he had that many opportunities? Have you seen that many opportunities from him this season? I bet the answer is no.
I'll tell you this, I'm the one that's more upset that you lost more than all of you, because I was the one who had 4,000 Mr. Arsenal coins on the game.
Okay, that's
4,000 coins on the game, and you lost.
You're an
I
idiot.
put it on Arsenal.
You shouldn't waste your coins on Arsenal.
Well, obviously, I know that now. I wish you told me that. I wish you told me that at 1:32.
I've been calling. I've been saying all season we've got 3 goals in us. I've had to knock that down now to think maybe we can do 2. Guess what? We can barely do 1. All right.
Gary, I got one more thing I want to. I'm not gonna say rant because that's not my style, but I'm really tired of slow throw-ins too. Like that's literally.
You know why? Because none of the team is ready to go. Like we the same way we are slow with our attack, we're slow on everything else. On a throw-in, you're supposed to catch the defense. You're supposed to catch the defense like getting set. No, we've got nobody moving on our side. Who's he going to throw it to?
Well, that's the problem too. The one goal we got, I think, in the Champions League this year was quick because someone took a quick throw into Gabriel Jesus. And there was a moment on Sunday when Saka was at the back line, and I don't know if it was Odegaard. I don't want to misspeak. Maybe Ben White. Instead, they threw it backwards instead of saying Saka go run and let's do a one-on-one, and maybe someone trips you up in the box, like stuff like that. There's no creativity with our set pieces either. I mean, take a look at the Odegaard shot on the set piece. I could see Havertz came up to him and spoke to him, and I think what Havertz was probably telling him was like, well, let's try some lob and see if we maybe hit it back post off a header. Instead, Odegaard puts it, 15 yards above the keeper. I mean, how many of those shots outside of the 32-yard mark do you actually see people make? I mean, I don't know. I feel like we keep taking a circle, trying to put it in a square. The kids are trying to beat it in there, and the smart kids know you can't fit it in there. But it's on the players, it's on the manager, and it's just like, man, y'all got to get better, man. And maybe they need this winter break. I don't know. Maybe they're tired.
You can't get it to fit if you whittle it down.
You can't what?
I didn't understand what you said.
You can get it to fit in if you whittle it down.
That's what she said.
Well, that's what we're doing right now. We're working on that, but what we're doing in that point is we're dropping 2 points to Fulham. We're dropping 3 points to West Ham.
Yeah.
By the time we figure it out, we're going to be 7 to 8 points too late.
True. Let's say hello to Ozzy Gunner. Welcome to the show. It's been a while. I haven't seen him on the channel in a while. He's of course in Australia, so it's a little bit of a time difference there. But welcome to the show.
I love this guy.
Yeah, so been on a couple shows with him. It's been fun. Yeah, no, we're slow. We are
No
slow.
sarcasm. There was no
We're slow.
sarcasm.
They're
There
slow.
was-
Yep. 0-1 is off the ball. Yeah, we don't do anything with intention to score a goal. You know, that's for my thing is we have an opportunity to attack, we pull up and like wait for somebody. I don't know who we're waiting for. You know, just take it to the goal. Trossard takes some of the worst corners. Yeah, Trossard should not take corners. I don't know what did they not practice this stuff?
Gary,
Yeah.
I can tell you this now. I
Yeah.
had the same thing last year with Jack Harrison. The man, it was like he had only when we had a corner did he suddenly develop concrete on his feet. It was like, why can't you get the ball in the air on the corner? Never beat the first man, and I think it's a cardinal sin in football if you do not beat the first man in a corner. It's
Yep.
ridiculous,
Yep.
genuinely ridiculous. It should result in a. No, it's hyperbole, but I was going to say it should result in like an immediate free kick to the defending team because that's how much I hate it.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, everybody's saying hello. Who do we miss? We missed that Milster for Erdegaard, someone running in late into the box scoring. You know why? You don't see it as much because we pull the ball up, right? When we attack, then we pull up, and next thing you know, doesn't matter if they're coming into the box late. We're going back the other way anyways. We never get a chance to see it.
You're not going to have a runner into the box. We already know it's not going to make it past the first man. Why waste your energy?
Maybe that's just yeah.
It'd be
You know what?
irresponsible.
You know what? We did that a couple games ago. We actually started doing a short corners, and those actually looked more productive than what we've been doing when we just boot at one time. So I don't know. I think that worked for that. I saw that working. Yeah,
Well, I don't know what changed from 2 years ago because we could hardly miss a corner kick.
we've
We're getting all
changed. We've
kinds of
changed
headers.
things. Think about it. Why did we need to change from what was working last season? We're like changing things up. As I was saying to somebody last season, what were we lacking? What were we missing?
Defensive powers.
We were missing depth, right? We said the only reason why we lost last season and didn't win the trophy, we didn't have depth, right? Didn't have depth at center back, right? Didn't have depth at behind Partey, right? Didn't have depth at the fullbacks, right? Timber answers one of the questions. Rice does, right? Partey then gets, I don't know, I think he gets destroyed by the coach as a right back. And we're right back, and we have no depth at center back. Right now, if one of our center backs goes down, we're in trouble again. We're in the same boat. We didn't fix that problem.
So
here we are is more, he keeps playing as a left back for some reason. And I don't understand how it's gonna work out when he needs to play center back at some point.
So Gary, here Stan's comment here. We need to fix the left back position. Everyone targets that size because they know Sachenko's off Joe Reddy in the midfield. It's 100% accurate. And it's kind of like what I said earlier about Martinelli not having covered. This is why I think me and Sam Greenwood have talked about this together a couple of times. Go back to a 4-2-3-1, overlapping fullbacks. Timber comes back. I mean, whatever you need to do. Let's go back to doing overlaps. And if you want Zinchenko to be that double pivot with Rice, you can keep him in the midfield. And then you can run Odegaard up top. You can run ESR, whoever you want. And then the striker stays in the box. You don't need your hold-up play from your striker. I need a target man up there.
Yeah,
so
I guess the question is, who is going to be that target man?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, all jokes aside, if you didn't ask Jesus and Kedia to come all the way back to the 50, I mean, there was times on Sunday. I mean, Gary, I mean, you saw it, and Kedia was all the way back there with, almost with Gabriel and Saliba. Like, why are you so far back? You're the striker. I need you up front.
This is Arteta's way, man. We saw it.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
We saw it with Lacazette. So this is everything we're complaining about right now is all Arteta. Arteta's created this nonsense that's going on with, this goalkeepers. He's creating this nonsense with, bringing on Havertz. That was another kind of red flag as to how things are going to pan out. Trying to bring a player back from the depths of form, dead form, issue. 2 goalkeepers, issue. Changing the entire scheme, issue. All right. I mean, he's trying to do all these things. The man can barely coach, as just do the regular stuff right now. Just trying to do too much, and he's gonna hurt himself. Yep. I don't know. We needed to get more depth, and when I think we killed ourselves in certain areas, so we're dependent on everything. We're dependent on being lucky, right? And so far, as you know, we are not lucky when it comes to players, right?
Well, it's like relying on Odegaard to get you 15 goals, right? I mean, that's kind of a.
They're not. I don't think they're
Yeah.
doing that anymore, though. I mean, if you're
Oh,
gonna move Erdegaard further, further away from the goal,
yeah.
which it seems he is, there's no that can't mean we're gonna expect more goals from him. That means something else.
I think in reality that they expect the goals to come from Saka and Martinelli.
Mhm.
And Saka scored his fair share this year, so but it's like Sunday, man. You miss that. And I don't mean to beat him up over it, but
Yeah.
everybody calls him our star boy in world class, but man, world class players don't miss shots like that, man. I'm sorry. But this is the thing though with this team. This team's got a lot of youth in it too, and they still haven't hit their prime yet. But I just wonder if we should table our expectations. I just don't know if any manager's going to get anything out of these guys, other than what we're seeing.
Well, I think I don't agree with that. I think, yeah, we should. Our youth has shown growth the last 3 seasons. Now all of a sudden, it's not. It was killed. And I think coaching has a lot to do with that.
When I say table expectations, Gary, I'm not talking about just giving up on the league. I'm just saying like this might be a third or second place team in the league, and that's what you are. And so you bring in
not if Solanke has more goals than your entire front three.
Bring in Solanke, and then maybe that changes.
No, if we have to bring in a Solanke, then what the world is it Martinelli and Saka doing on? Now you're telling me that's where I'm saying they need to get more out of the players that they have.
Well, Solanke gives you more than Nketiah would.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is your top players should not be going backwards, right?
It's true.
Right. So for me, I think
he probably needs to sit. Martinelli probably needs to sit, and someone else needs to go out there and get some form. Maybe ESR, move him on the left wing, and although I think we might see him, maybe leave this January. I hope not, but
I'd love to know what Alonso and Tony think of this.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry,
it's that cough that tells the truth.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think ESR. I mean, it's a shame how it worked out. It's a shame like Arteta doesn't change things around. I think that it's disappointing because in 2020-21 season, we saw what he's able to do, and we all thought that he was on his way, but then he got hurt, and that's the main issue with ESR is that he's always hurt. But he seems like he's ready now, but Arteta won't play him. Something that I think I talked about last time, I talked about with Spencer and Sam, was that last year, I think they depended too much on Saka and Martinelli because there was no proper striker or Jesus was hurt. So I think, this year was been different. Jesus isn't scoring like he should. Martinelli's been lost. So the whole offense moving forward has been non-existent, and who knows why that's the case. But I would like Havertz to move up front as a striker position because I think he offers us more as far as height goes as well. So I don't know if it's Arteta being coach these guys issue. But last year you saw the importance of Xhaka being at the left 8, and he did pretty well there. I think Arteta is trying to replicate that by putting Havertz at that 8, and it's not working out. Havertz's goals, with the exception of the penalty shot, have all come from inside the box. And I think if Arteta were smart, he'd put Havertz up front and let ESR at number 8, at 8, see how that works out. But he won't because he doesn't listen to us, right? Maybe Martinelli will have more success if he has a similar player at the left 8 like Xhaka was. Maybe ESR would be perfect for that role. maybe Trossard, but Trossard doesn't score anymore. So it's up to Arteta what he wants to do, and unfortunately, it's not working out. So it has to change quickly because he's going to let this points get ahead of them, and it's really a shame because like I said before, we had really high hopes for this team, and unfortunately, Eddie doesn't give us as much either. So you know, we need to go for a striker. If we don't, then I don't see this team being that great, top four or finishing the league or winning the league. So Arteta's got to change something, or it's going to be hard to overcome Liverpool and now City, even Villa. So something's got to change, and it's got to change for the better.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Nketiah didn't score. Nketiah has not scored away in a year. I mean, I don't. If you're planning to get a player back into some sort of form that they can score on the road, the way Arteta is, as you say, using the players isn't working. So Tony, talk to me. Tell us about the problems we see.
Yeah, Spencer covered everything I've said a million times. You pull your striker back, which Jesus really isn't the striker to begin with, but you get him there past midfield, back where Lacazette was when Stan came up with the false six. Is that's how far back Lacazette was playing. So it really doesn't matter the striker you're going to get if that's to be the directions that the manager gives you. And I don't see the point in spending 110 million on a midfielder for to have our strikers going back and helping in midfield. It makes absolutely no sense. And it makes no sense when you get four center backs that all know how to play in a back three and play that way and play with your wing backs instead of fullbacks because one of your fullbacks is playing as a wing back anyway, and he lessens that left side. As last year, it seemed like Gabriel was better at helping out. Woods and Chico is going forward, but you still don't have anybody dropping back there and covering for that position. Now you have Martinelli trying to do that, which he shouldn't be. That's why it's easy if you just line up with a back three. Then there's you have three players back there. Then that's a way to go with that. But all this boils down to the manager. It's like he wants certain things done. This is the way it's to be. This is why teams have figured this out. It's not hard to. I mean, you ain't have to watch any tape to play Arsenal. You're like, oh, they're gonna do the same style they did against just 2 years ago. I mean, you don't have to waste any time because there's nothing different. You look to the bench, nothing changes when you bring something on from the bench except for maybe Trossard, that's more of an accurate player, but as far as styles and hey, see, there's Gary mistreating Gator again.
He's a winner.
Yes.
He's a winner. So I don't know if you answered this, but do we really need more players, or can we get these players to perform better?
You can get them to perform better because most of them were there last year. But the thing is what tactics are given.
Yeah.
It's not really the players. You look at the players. I think Arteta strips the creativity out of them because he's like, do this. That's like telling your striker to be back there with the center backs. That makes no sense.
Yeah, Lonzo. So same thing. You think we have to bring in another one or two players to get this thing right, or do we have enough in the cupboard to get
And
something working.
one thing, in my opinion, we lack is someone with a good head on their shoulders and good height. I think, like I said before, playing Havertz up front would be an experiment that I think could work. Because Jesus and Kadia maybe don't have the height to maybe do good in the air, right? Headers, etc. Um, we need to bring more players like a left back who can actually stay in a position and just stay there, play defensively. Um, maybe cover for Udegaard. We've seen players in different teams be successful, and they're cheaper than the options that we're looking for. The Conkies have given Arteta funds to spend this January, so there's no really excuse on why they can't bring anyone in. I wouldn't mind Slanky. I think he's a good striker for Bournemouth. Um, Jesus is frustrating to me because he wants to play striker, he wants to play up front, but yet he doesn't do it on a constant level. I want to, like I said before, I like Eddie Nketiah, but who knows what the boss is giving Nketiah instructions to do. Last year we were on fire, we were scoring goals, but it's different this year. So formation-wise, I wouldn't mind seeing Partey and Rice in midfield with Odegaard, just to try it out. Maybe Martinelli needs a break. Maybe he needs a rest on the bench. I would bring ESR in, just because you want to see him. I want to see him. The problem is that you're going to coach players to do certain things, and right now at this current Arsenal squad, they're not performing like they should be, meaning scoring a lot of goals like they're capable of. And I think Spencer and I think Stan has said before, we depended a lot on our strikers to score goals last year, and what happened to that? So there's a lot of questions to be asked, and the players we need to bring in also be striker and left back, maybe another attacking midfielder, because Jorginho can only do so much because he's older now. Though he does bring leadership to the squad, there's never going to be enough depth for this team, and targets rather. So it's a conundrum right now. He does take chances, Stan, but he doesn't convert them like you said, and that's just frustrating because we know that he's good enough, but which it's kind of discouraging as a fan that you expect him to put him in, and he has all his talent. Is he better on the wing or is he a striker? So that's just frustrating.
Yeah. So
Tom, I had a question for Tom that I had for about 10 minutes ago. Have you ever seen a team get 5 foul throw-ins in a season?
It's very rare to see a foul throw in a game, let alone multiple numbers in a season. Why are you asking, Tony?
Because Arsenal did that last year, and Spencer was talking about the slow throw-ins because we keep taking like forever to get them in. And last year we were having the foul ones. 5
Well, I
foul
think
throw-ins is just ridiculous.
like that is ridiculous. But generally, when I talk about throw-ins, I think you'll find a lot of teams can't take them. It is like at best, what will realistically happen is you move yourself down the pitch a bit further than you originally should be, then you launch it, and at best, they will knock it back to you. Now, people are going to say, oh, yeah, but you can knock it on and things. But what realistically usually happens is, if you're lucky, you will retain possession of the ball a bit further down the field than you started. But most teams don't. It's practically like giving the ball away.
Why don't we have
Because you have the
kick-ins?
extra man. Because the defending team has the extra man because someone's throwing the ball, basically. I don't know.
And this is the point I wanted to bring up earlier when I had that just brain fart and was staring like my internet was crapped out. I think we were really kind of robbed of the Partey-Rice partnership with Partey's injuries, because I think what that would have done is would have created a little bit more, I don't want to say stability, but quality in the midfield that would have potentially, I mean, the season's not over. So, I mean, God knows, the winter break, we got Liverpool this weekend. We'll probably win that game. I know everybody's going to go, how do you know? Like, I don't, but it just seems like something that would happen this weekend. And, who knows what happens? They do some warm weather training and they come back and we see something different in the 20th against Crystal Palace. Maybe some sort of formation change, or, I mean, we're going to be linked to everybody and their mom in January. So everything you read is false unless you see someone holding up a shirt. So, I mean, get ready for it. It's a silly season. We're going to be linked to Frankie de Jong. We're going to be linked to, I mean, who else? You pick a name. We'll be linked to God knows who. But that'll work. Good job, Alonso. I put the golf ball up and you hit it. But yeah, I mean, that's yeah. So it was frustrating on Sunday. I'm not gonna lie, Gary. I know I told you I never turn games off. I turned that one off at the 87th minute. I walked away. I couldn't do it anymore. Look, I'm not Arteta out, so I don't want everybody to misinterpret my anger tonight on that. I'm just more frustrated because this game is very difficult, and when you get a chance, you only get so many chances to score in a game, and when you don't take them or you miss them, you never get another chance. And we saw a couple against West Ham, that the Jesus header that could have kicked everybody on, and then the Saka second goal. You at least bare minimum get out there with a point. So, yeah.
Yes, Tom.
It does sound like I've walked in on a Rat Army Mothers meeting a bit.
Oh God, no! I'm not with those clowns.
You know what? We're talking about the game, and if you're talking about if analyzing the game, but then you're also looking at what's happened prior to this. I always look at, I expect us to get better at least a little bit each game. We went tremendously bad, right, over the last 3 matches, right?
Yeah.
What's the point of that draw against Liverpool if then you turn around soon after that and you drop games to West Ham and Fulham? What's the point of that? Like, what, that's not how it's supposed to work, right?
I mean that's a fast turnaround from first to fourth.
Yeah, I mean that's these are matches we're supposed to win, right? So now it's a matter of by how many goals, right? Now we're like, can we even get a goal in, right? We scored 1 goal and we scored 2 goals in three games, and what was the point? I'd rather lose to Liverpool and win the next 2, right?
Yeah.
We're like, we beat City and we've lost 4 matches. We beat City, drew with Liverpool, and we lost 4 matches to teams lower than us on the table, right?
Man, I would have taken a 4-0 loss at Liverpool and won the Villa game, West Ham, and the Fulham game. I'd have rather got our butts kicked at Anfield, and at least we'd have had 9 points, not 4.
It shows something's not right. You can't, and Arteta either gets his players up for the big games, and basically tells them to relax on the other games that they're supposed to win, easy peasy, right?
But those are the ones that we've been losing the last 2 seasons. Run-ins to the last 10, 11 games. Most of those losses have been to bottom half or relegation look type teams. It's not the big teams who've been struggling against near the end of the season. It's the little guys.
And we haven't even got to the end of the season right now.
Yeah, where those teams are
Like they're
dying for points.
every team's getting a little bit better around us, right? Except for Newcastle, but everybody else seems to be getting a little bit better, and we're not. You know, and we definitely have the talent to do it. So yeah, and so somebody says everybody seems to play up for us, right? Everybody. I mean, Villa has a really good week. Beats City and Arsenal 1-2 in the league at that point, I think. And you're like, damn. And they're still kicking. It's still there, right? Still, I think they're top three right now. So Arsenal
They'd
needs.
be
We have
top if they respected Sheffield United enough to try and beat them.
yeah, and like I said, they beat City, they beat Arsenal, and then they struggle against Sheffield United. How is that, right? How is that, right? I mean, that's where some teams are. They're more emotional than they need to be. We're gonna play. We'll probably play up for Liverpool because, they're a big squad. You got to beat all. You got to go. You got to plan to win all 38 matches, right? 38 games. If you don't, you guess what? This is what happens. The last two games. That's what happens when you don't pay attention and heed the warnings that you had earlier in the season. That Fulham match early in the season should have been a warning. They went down a man and took a point from us. Right? Took 2 points from us actually. Right?
See, Gary, my issue with Arsenal, this Arsenal team is that they're not as ruthless as they were last year. So something's missing with that because last year, had they been 10 men down, we would have won that game. We would have blown them out. So, where the disconnect is, we don't know, but it's quite worrisome. And he basically almost had the same squad as last year, subtracting, you know, Xhaka basically, and you add Rice. So there's an issue that maybe Arteta's telling the guys not to do, or something's missing from last year that they can't create more. Maybe it's Havertz not being fast enough, or who knows what the issue is, but it's quite worrisome. As if you want to call your team a title contender.
No, like I said, I think it's also some of that. Some of it is player management and stuff. Going into the season, we all said, at least I think we all were saying, Trossard looked like he's ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what his first game was, but he didn't play much in his first set of games. And I think you got to play the hot hand sometimes. He can start for Arsenal. It's okay. You have to, if he's hot, you should find a place for him. I think Arteta's killed a little bit of whatever he had going into the season, and it's hard to get it back when, like we're saying all the time, he's not even playing in a position that he can succeed in. He's being asked to fill some holes that he can't do. I mean, I don't know what you guys think. I think a formation change to make things a little bit easier is warranted, because we're just gonna wear out our guys eventually.
Here's where Tom referring to the Rat Army. I mean, whatever. This is where Arteta's. Oh, you said it. It's all good. It's all good. This is where Arteta is going to have to really, I want to say, rebuild confidence. This is where you get paid the money. You got players that don't look confident, that don't look like they know what they're doing. So he's got to take this little break time right here, recharge these guys, remotivate them, get a rebuy-in. I really do believe this with this club. If as long as they don't fall out of the top four, I think Arteta will be back next year. Now, people aren't going to want to hear that. I don't care, but that's my opinion on this with that. But he's going to have to remotivate these guys. A formation change is probably what they need. Go back to basics. Be simple. One assignment. No reason to have 3 or 4 different swim lanes. I think the big thing that I think he needs to do, if you're going to still keep doing the inverted left back thing, you need to tell Zinchenko, look, I get you're playing in the midfield, but you need to stay on this quadrant of the pitch. I don't need to see you over there with Saka playing like a kindergartner or a bunch of swarm of bees following the ball. You don't need to be doing that. And I think, it's going back to basics, man. Like, at the end of the day, like, we've become predictable where teams will sit back, make us break them down, but they know that the left back position is wide open. So all they have to do is hit us on the counterattack. How many times have we seen Saliba stop a counterattack? So we've become predictable, and this is where the manager just has to switch it up a little bit. The players have the ability to win. Let's not kid ourselves here. We got a very talented squad, but their confidence is lacking, and they're not clinical enough. So they need to find that in themselves too. So it's a lot of soul searching.
Confidence in themselves, or is it confidence in the manager?
What does the manager have to listen? Tell me what a player missing a shot from the 8-yard box has to do with the manager.
If I don't believe a word coming out of your mouth, I don't trust you. If I don't trust you, and you tell me no, you got it, I'm not going to believe you.
So do you think he's lost the locker room? A serious question. Do you think
he has?
Gary, do you think he's lost the locker room?
I think he's lost. He's lost the confidence, the trust in some of the players. The same way he loses trust in players sometimes. I think he's losing the trust. The players don't trust him. Whether that's losing a locker room or not, I'm not sure. Because they, I don't know. I know it's not down tools what we saw against Fulham, but it didn't look right. If that was another team, you might say they looked like they just down tooled. They just pretty much gave up, right? The way that second half went,
This is the same group of guys early in the season go down a goal, then they score 2 goals, and we'd be cruising. But now they're not fighting back like they were, and things are totally different.
Yeah, I think there's also a little bit of drama too, or too much drama, and not just football.
So I mean, I think the quickest answer to this is, and here's my thought with this: if Arteta has lost the locker room, then they would have to potentially make a change. But we don't know that right now. We may think it, but here's what would need to, because I think the Ramsdale situation may be the catalyst for that, right? Some people like Ramsdale, some people don't like Ramsdale. There's players. I mean, I'm gonna go to American football. If you bench a quarterback, some people love that quarterback or don't love that quarterback. You can lose people based on that. So maybe the answer is shipping out Ramsdale as soon as possible so that distraction is no longer in the locker room. But if he has lost the locker room, guys, then I mean that would potentially, but we won't know that. We don't know that data point right now. I don't think we're at that point. That's something that we'll see. What this season has to finish off before we really truly know.
Yep. Well, yeah. So, Lonzo, you think Arteta's got these guys on his side?
I thought about this today while I drive home from Dunkin' Donuts, right? I was thinking about these things. And, when we all sat here on this podcast or it was an Arsenal fan circle, we were all thinking about why Arteta decided it was a good idea to sign Raya from Brentford at the time on loan. And we all thought about, reasons why and all that stuff. And I thought about this. I was like, how many saves did Ramsdale make when he was with Arsenal the past 2 years? To save us from games he could have lost, or should have lost, rather. And I think that to games like Leicester, right? When you got those saves in, and kept us from losing that game, and other games as well. And I thought to myself, well, what does Roy bring that Ramsdale doesn't already have? And that right there kind of tells you what kind of guy Arteta is as a manager. You know, he's not afraid to make changes and drastic changes at best. And you ask yourself as a fan, well, why do you need that? Why do you need that distraction? Like Spencer was saying, I personally like Ramsdale. I like his story. I like the fact that he's very, very emotional, right? And you know, you got a lot of guys in that team who are also playing for England as well, so they can be friends off the pitch. And you think to yourself, well, how does that play into to the club's chemistry as a football team? And you know, kind of Arteta kind of put himself out there and really didn't answer the question why he brought in Raya. You know, I know that you know Ramsey needed a backup, and because he was going to move on from Matt Turner, which is kind of unfair itself, because Matt Turner wanted to play more, which I understand. But then you go out and get someone that can also be a second choice goalkeeper. You don't go out there and sign a starting goalkeeper from a rival club, and that's just my opinion. Because we all saw that Raya was also mistake prone as well. So there's things like that. Like Spencer was talking about how all those things become distractions on the club like Arsenal, especially when your Arsenal is supposedly a title contender, right? Um, so like Spencer was saying, you don't know what's going on in the locker room because it's not talked about. But interesting to see what's happening, where the disconnect is, why we're not doing any better than we were, you know, against West Ham. So I hope that's not the case, but you know, it seems like you know there's something not going right, and it needs to be fixed. It needs to be fixed sooner than later if we're going to be in this title race. And Man City are getting better because they're getting back De Bruyne and Holland's back. So you know, it's either we buy players or we just continue to ride the ship in hopes that they change their ways.
I hear you on that. I just think we have better players than what we're seeing, and that needs to change. And I don't think just bringing a new player is going to fix that. Bringing in a striker isn't going to fix all the other things that we have going on.
So, Gary, the only thing I would say to counterpoint bringing in a striker that would change everything, if you're bringing a higher quality player, that becomes another person that the other team has to worry about, which takes attention off of Saka and Martinelli. So, you know, this also goes down to that tactic. But, you know, you bring more quality players in, it opens other people up. You know, it's why in basketball, you usually about 3 guys to win a championship, not 2 superstars, right?
Yeah, I so like right now we have so many issues to say one player coming is going to fix everything.
I agree.
It's kind of where I don't feel like it's not just a striker issue. Tony, you think it's just a striker issue?
Nope, definitely not.
Like
It's every part. It's goalkeeping, it's the defense, midfield, striking. It's all of it.
Yeah, BX Gunner thinks it's a formation change. I personally feel like we should just go to the back 3 and then play that for a little bit, just to change things up a little bit and maybe, you know, solidify a little bit more control.
All right, so if you go to a 3, Gary, so what's your midfield look like with that? What are you doing? A 3 blank what?
I don't know. I just feel like that just brings Zinchenko up the pitch, so we're not dealing with that anymore, and we're gonna just defend with the 3. You know, personally, tell you the truth, I'm like at some point, you know, it's probably too late. It seems like it's too late now because it's been forever since Saka has played as a fullback. But I'd rather have Saka play that sometimes, just to switch things up a little bit, so he can get more people into the game. I don't know if Saka's at that point in his career where he can make that adjustment for like a game or whatever. But I just feel like we have to do something. At some point, I'm feeling like this. Can we just get our best 11 players in some of the better position? Some will be in their preferred position, but some of them will have to we'll just have to have to overcome not playing in their preferred position and play it, see it out, because forcing people to play out of their position when they're going to struggle there is not good. Colonel Ward has joined us, folks. Everybody, I say hello. So,
I still have no idea why he said, let's try Partey at right back to start the season.
I listened to a lot of people say why they think that was okay. It's because he was inverting anyways. But for me, I don't think a player that some say box to box or whatever is playing at a right back and having to invert. I mean, for me, it pulls him further away from where he's the strength that we need, which we're seeing it right now. We are scared of the middle of the pitch, right? Usually that would be Partey splitting the defenders in the middle of the pitch and going right through the middle, opening things up on either side and going from there. Usually he'd be passing it to an Erdegaard, right? Not anymore. Not anymore. You know what I mean? We don't have the person splitting those defenders on the right in front of the back line there, and we don't have Erdegaard further up the pitch to get the pass.
And you have to be passing 30 yards back to get Odegaard in that situation.
Yeah. So that's kind of where I feel like we have to make some adjustment. I think Erdegaard needs to be further up the pitch, not further back. Mr. Tom, I don't know if you if you have any words of wisdom for us.
Tom, do you have any crisps that taste like assholes this week?
Crisp that tastes like what?
Oh,
or
boy.
smells like assholes. Last week he said
Oh, gross,
crisp.
Tony. Jesus Christ, man.
It's what he said.
So, Mr. Tom, when you go out looking for crisps, is that kind of like some of the criteria you're looking for? Like,
I go, Iqbal, I need your shop divided into two halves of crisps. Crisps that taste like assholes and crisps that do not taste like assholes. That never happened.
Do a good job.
Hey, Tom, I have a question, Tom.
You already asked it.
Sure.
Are we going to see our favorite 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s pop star tonight?
Oh, I don't know. It depends if something comes up which might force that issue.
It rhymes with Jackal Maxon.
No.
Every time I hear it, I just think of Mr.
No, Alonzo, you're gonna get cut off. You keep bringing that up.
He's my favorite pop star.
Yeah.
I just think of Mr. Hanky every time I hear Tom do that impersonation.
It doesn't. Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Oh,
Got a 351 here.
Nope.
Got a 31411. Like I said, I don't know. I just feel like some point we need to change things up a little bit. And it shouldn't just be we're changing it up because of where we sit right now, but it should, for me, it's stuff that we should be doing anyways at once in a while, so we don't have to get to this point. Yeah, I mean, the back three will be this. I don't know. I just felt like we need to do something different, and what we're doing right now isn't. We're making, as everybody has said, they know exactly what we're going to do, right? Saka's going to get the ball out, even with space. It doesn't matter if there's one defender, 2, 3. He's going to, cut inside every time, trying to get the ball on his left foot. For what reason? They're going to just sit on his left foot, and then if he does shoot it, he's going to hit someone. Otherwise, he's going to have to pass it back because there's nobody coming close to him. They're all just watching. We do a lot of watching when we're in the attack. So, and you know what? I think I saw something, and we'll see if it's changed. But I don't know if Tomiyasu will be available for us this weekend. So he might.
Yeah, it's in Asia. Like
the Asia Cup is starting, so I don't know if he has to leave early for that. So
I mean, a fullback's going to be brought in. I think that's a guarantee for this transfer, which our defender at the bare minimum. But I mean, look, Liverpool's going to miss Salah, and Salah has been so good this year. I mean, 12 goals. I think he's got 14 now, or 13 or something like that. Got a couple of gifts on, what was it, yesterday? Yeah, they got the one gift there at the end. So, I mean, it's we need to really figure something out, or we're potentially going to be a 2-horse race here. And I would say the difference, and this is the thing, we want Arteta to succeed on this channel. I'm pretty sure I'm not speaking for Gary on here. We want it to work out. We don't want to be. I'd rather be wrong about things and Arsenal win than be right about stuff and Arsenal fail. So I think that's the difference with us and other people. So.
No, for sure. I want him to succeed, but I need to see something. As I've said, I'd like to see little changes positively, and I'm not seeing that from this team and from the way Arteta's been handling things. So, Mr. Tony, who you think we should bring in?
As I said the other day, I think striker and probably a fullback.
Mm-hmm. Lonzo, who are you bringing in?
I think we should bring in a striker, fullback. We have plenty of midfielders. Partey coming back, and Jorginho's there. Rice, ESR. We have a lot of midfielders that we don't use properly or at all. Maybe a winger. Definitely, maybe. Who knows? But I bring a wing, fullback, and a striker.
Yeah, I hear you. No, I've been calling for a midfielder. Once I know striker is definitely needed, but I don't think our midfield is where it needs to be either. And I'd rather fix that than fix the striker at this point. We need a little bit more. We need a lot more control in the midfield.
Mm-hmm.
We're not getting it from Havertz isn't giving it to us. Erdegaard, I think, is out of position, and Rice can't do it all. Right, so we are sitting here. It's almost 90 minutes. So, anybody have anything else they want to chat before we get out of here? Nobody.
Yeah. So when Timber comes back, right? What is your best position for him? Is it fullback or is it center back?
Timber?
Yeah.
He's got to play fullback.
Yeah.
He's not. We have our center backs starting. He starts for us, so he's not starting as a center back unless.
So you put Kyrgios center back then. I would.
Kyrgios has to be a center back, but he's not even getting the time there, and that's the problem. Arteta's not utilizing the squad. So,
yeah.
all these players should have a lot more minutes. Reece Nelson should have a lot more minutes than Emile Smith-Rowe, and he doesn't. So what was the point of re-signing him? Emile Smith-Rowe's been injured. As soon as he's healthy, he plays. Reece Nelson's been sitting there. And it can't be because Saka plays in front of him anymore. Saka was terrible in the game, all right? In the West Ham game, I think it was. Anytime he touched the ball, he basically coughed it up and gave it right back. Players have bad days. You got to pull them out of it and bring in somebody else to help. Or else what's the point of having a squad?
I've given up on hoping on changes at 30 minutes.
That's what has to happen, though. I get it. I get he's not going to do it, but that's what has to happen. That's what the good managers would do.
Yeah, it should be there on both wings, on both sides. Martinelli and Saka should both be coming off for somewhere between 60 and 70 minutes into the game.
If they're struggling, right? Not necessarily just to come off. Sometimes when they're struggling, and sometimes you find that out before the game. Arteta doesn't seem to look at that either. Sometimes they don't need to start every game. I always find it interesting that KDB doesn't start every game. He's injured.
Yeah,
right?
usually that Thursday is when they go in there and look at all the players and their fitness levels here. you can only give us this much effort if you play on the weekend. Blah blah blah. But that's what they do. Thursdays, looking at the players, seeing how fit they are.
Yeah.
Seems like ours Tata skips that part of training since he's so focused on training.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Saka's at the level where he can just play 50 games and give us, 8s in every one of them. I mean, that's why he's 22. He still has time to grow into this thing. He's not like at the level. Oh, look at Jude Bellingham, right? He's not at the level of a Haaland, right? So why we don't need to press him, push him like that? He still has time. Martinelli's even behind him, so why is he needs to come out as well. So we're gonna get out of here. Let everybody have their say before we jump out of here. Lonzo.
Hey, thanks for having me, Gary. Yeah, thanks for having me on the show. Good to see you, Spencer, Tony, and Mr. Tom. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that we get a win in for Liverpool. They're a great team and a great coach. I hope Arteta and our squad can do them in. Hoping that we can advance in the FA Cup. Like Moss said, this is our cup. But it's always a tough game at Liverpool. They drew against us at their place, so hopefully that's motivation to pay them well. I still believe in Arteta. I still believe in how he got this team going. Like Spencer has said many times, they're still a young team. They haven't reached their prime yet. So we'll see what happens. I'm of course working that day, so I'm gonna miss it, and I'm hoping for a win. So good to see you guys in the chat box as well. And good to see you guys. Good to talk to you guys about Arsenal and Leeds as well, Tom. Take care.
All right. And we'll let Spencer go, and then we'll let everybody have an answer to this question, which is kind of interesting. You can answer this one, and then also say your goodbyes. Would you say Saka is a transfer under a big manager away from going world class, or is he going to be fined at Arsenal?
I mean, I don't know how to answer that. I'd have to think about that one.
I always say it should be an easy one. If you have to hesitate, then that means it's not. Right now, it's not a go.
So, but the premise of the question is Saka leaving Arsenal? It's not a big man. I mean,
if he transferred and went to Liverpool, would he be world class quicker than if he stays at Arsenal? If he went to Man City, if he went to Real Madrid, if he went to teams that he's going to get to play, I mean, he would of course have to play for this to work out.
The appearance of him being world class would be more evident, but the answer I have is no.
So you're saying if he went to Pep and played, he would not be going.
You think Pep would allow him to miss an 8-yard shot like that and keep him on the
we don't
field?
know why. I feel it's a mental thing, and I think that's part of it's a culture thing, and it might be a manager thing.
Look at
the
rotation
thing. Yeah.
Look at the rotation of him and Foden, right?
Yeah, we've seen Saka out, at least from what we're seeing, where we understand he's more liked by the England coach, which I don't think is not necessarily a good decision, but and he looks fine playing in the England shirt. He looks pretty good playing with the English shirt on.
I mean, different coaching gives you different perspectives, which teaches you a different mindset. So I don't think leaving to a different. I don't know. That's a tough one. I'm going to say no.
All right.
But I want to say thank you for everybody for coming by and hanging out with us tonight. Sorry that I was in a poor mood about the last two results. It's got me real irritated. But we carry on this weekend and we play Liverpool and they won't have Salah, and I just got a feeling we're going to win it. Don't ask me to give you any statistical back data for that. It just feels like, hey, we're screwing it up in the league. We'll win in the cup. I don't know, but Other than that, Bronco and VA 9986 is the channel. I'm probably gonna start doing some stuff in there again, which you can catch me on here occasionally with Mr. Arsenal podcast, and Greener Gatherings taking a small hiatus, but I will help out Lee Meadows when he wants help. Other than that, thanks for everybody. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Alonzo. Thank you for Gary, and thank you for the chat box.
Cool. And as we have here, Bellingham was at Saka's level last season and went to Real Madrid under Ancelotti and went elite. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure. He was doing a lot at Dortmund, right? His name was coming out a lot there. But Tony, talk to me. Tell me. Question asked is, would you say Saka is a transfer under a big manager away from going world class?
I think he already has the skill set in there. I think a little bit of it is the manager getting those last little bits out of him, giving him a little bit of direction. But I think either way, he's probably going to be world class. But I think other managers could bring it out faster.
So if he stays under Arteta for another 5 years, he'll be world class before the end of that.
Should be.
You think he will be?
I don't think Arteta's will be there, and Saka might not be there if they keep having Arteta as manager.
So is that a yes or a no? I'm not sure what you're saying.
I'm saying that in 4 years, if the team's winning,
No. If the question is, if Saka stays, Arteta stays for the next 4 years, will Saka be world class?
No.
All right. Say bye-bye to the people, Tony.
Bye-bye to the people, Tony.
All right, Mr. Tom. Do you have anything you want to share? Do you have an answer to this question as well? You think Saka transfers to a big manager? Will he be going world class? I guess sooner than he would if he stays. I assume that's the question there. Or, will he actually be world class if he stays? It doesn't really matter.
Not necessarily to either question. I thought Calvin Phillips was going to go to a new level when he went to Man City, and he just went to the bench. So, that's nothing. But people, I'm having a go at him. Not. At the end of the day, he can't get into the greatest team on the planet.
Yeah.
There's no shame in that.
You think Calvin Phillips was at the same level as Saka was last season, at the end of last season?
No, but he was important to my team to a degree that we won more when he played than when he didn't.
Yeah.
And to the degree that they actually paid money for him, thinking that he would actually offer something to their team. And then we got relegated the year after. So I think it all adds up to they had an expectation.
Very true. Very true. All right. Say bye to the people.
Yeah, so thank you to everyone for tolerating us for this 99 minutes that we have currently been on the air. Thank you for the support for us all. And I just want to say that the Full Nelson podcast will not be live tomorrow night. Okay. I know. Oh, but have no fear, everyone. It will be back on Thursday.
Get out of here,
because I want to do it on Thursday, quite frankly.
No.
That was almost it almost felt like pain. It's like one of these, I'm coming, and you're like, no, we're fine. We're not going away forever.
It will be 10 p.m. in the UK, which I believe will be 5 in the Eastern time zone. Yeah. To be fair, quite frankly, because people may want to know why. I don't care if you don't want to know why. I'm just going to tell you anyway, because I've got important shit to do on Thursday morning, and I'd quite like to actually be able to get awake for it instead of not being awake for it because I happen to be on the internet at 3 a.m. being
4 a.m.
filibustered by Tony.
Okay, there you go. So
Alright.
that's the pro. That he just that. See, that is right there. He should have just led. Should have just led with that. Should have just led with that. And Tony's gonna try
How
to
am I?
fill it. No,
How am I
no, no.
filibustering?
Nobody wants to hear about you right now. That's what right now. Exhibit A. Exhibit A.
I do not do that when we're watching Raw.
All he could have said was hey, look, Gary, all he had to say is like, Full Nelson Podcast Thursday, Tony. We'd have been like, oh, okay, we got it. We figured it out.
To be fair, also,
Yeah.
I think it may be better for my mental health to actually give myself the extra day to actually prepare the show.
No, that's cool. You know what you need to do to make the show work. So
I mean,
everybody-
you've seen it. You like it's not the fucking wrestling picture fairy that fucking does it. It's me.
I thought it was the fairy because I'm like, you know what? If it is the fairy, you better show that fairy again the next time I come on. That's what I want to see.
I mean, you better take more foot pics for me, man.
If the fairy does it, damn, dude. Yeah. Anyways, everybody, thank you for joining us. I think Seko, will be world class no matter what. But I do think if he left and went to a big club or with a big manager, he would hit that level sooner for sure. I hope Arteta is able to do that for him, which means we're looking good in the next number of years. But things got to change this year. If he does the same as he did last year, I don't think that's the kind of the trend that I was hoping for. I was hoping for a better trend. His numbers are just like they were last season a little bit, so I expect him to to kick on at some point in the future weeks, or I guess when we get back from international break. So everyone, thank you again for joining us. We'll be back next Monday. Today's Tuesday, so we'll be back in about 6 days talking about the football over the weekend, the FA Cup, and then football will be on a break, but we'll still be here chatting up about whatever. So check us out then. I think everybody talked about where they're going to be. Tony, you'll find him here. Full Nelson, and then once in a while he'll be on Arsenal Fan Circle. Lonzo, Full Nelson here, Arsenal Fan Circle. And Mr. Tom, wherever I go, Mr. Tom goes. And Full Nelson. And Spencer's here, as he said. So everyone,
if Gary streamed a show on the moon, damn it, I'm coming to the moon.
There you go, people. He just follows me wherever I go. So everybody, thank you again for joining us. We'll be back in a week, less than a week, and hopefully we have some good news for the Arsenal.
Hopefully, I don't look like a mommy.
Oh yeah, so Tony had some surgery. Yeah, he's finding new ways, new reasons to go to the hospital now. Yeah. So this is Tony on a Friday night, just flicking through the medical reference manual and going.
Gary, that motherfucker put those photos in our group chat, and he was like, "Who wants to see it?" It's like, no, I don't.
I was surprised you didn't call and do a video chat with Mr. Tom as you were going into surgery or something like that.
Tony's got money in the.
He did. He tried. I declined the call.
Tony's got money in the medical industrial complex. He's out there making money.
Yeah, he's got. He's got. You know how you get your card punched when you go in for a procedure. They have to do it by computer now. It's just too many. He can't. They have enough paper.
He's got 9 surgeries. The 10th one will be free. Sorry, Tony. I didn't mean. I'm so sorry.
Do you have a card that they stamp?
I wish I did.
They don't even validate it anymore. They just have a spot for Tony when he gets in there. He just pulls in. It's just right there next to the vice president of the hospital.
There's an actual valet at the doors, Dan. Mr.
All jokes aside, though, Tony, we want you to be healthy.
Well, what's the bad thing is that this is true when I go to Walgreens, when I go to a pharmacy. Like, they see me and they just go grab it and hand it to me. They don't ask me my address or any of that stuff.
No ID, no nothing.
I know. This is Tony.
Tell him by the smell.
the new person's like, "What are you doing?" I'm just filling out Tony's medicine, but he hasn't even walked in the door. Yeah, I know. It's all right. It's all right. So everybody, we're gonna hang out. We'll see you guys later. Thank you, and we'll be back in 6 days.